Hi everybody, it's the Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of the invasion angle using TEW 9. We are going to kick off our first Raw with a couple of pre-show matches. This is basically just because we're trying to work out whether there's any chemistry between particular people and managers. So we're trying Buff Bagwell with Tori Wilson when they're kind of introduced into the fold. As far as the WCW stable is concerned, it doesn't look like there's any negative chemistry here between them, so I think we'll stick with that one. But for the particular match, he's taking on Taka Michinoku. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But it's a poor pre-show match. Bagwell got the win in 6 minutes 59 by pinfall. Yeah, it didn't really put much effort into this one. It was literally just to see whether there was any negative chemistry between Buff Bagwell and Tori Wilson. Let's take you through it though. 54 score for the wrestling, 43 for the crowd, and 60 for the segment. That's not over bad. I'm not too disappointed with that one, to be honest. Same here. We are trying Rhino, and I can't for the life of me think who with. It's kind of gone. It's actually gone who I was going to pair him with, but it doesn't look like there's any negative chemistry. So whoever it was, after the show, we're going to take a look. Whoever it was, they're fine. Rhino and Spike Dudley had pretty good chemistry as well, which I'm kind of surprised about. Obviously, Rhino got the win here. It was a hardcore title match. He got the win in 6 minutes 14 by pinfall. It's defense number 1 of the hardcore title. 51 wrestling, 29 crowd, and a 49 rating for the segment. So the show kicks off with Vince McMahon and Ric Flair both in the ring. And Vince is kind of like a little bit excited. So, Rick, how are you getting on with your recruitment? You know, any shining stars out there? Any gems that we can polish and, turn into stars and make us lots of money? And Ric Flair says, well, Vince, you can trust me. I've already recruited a few people. I've already signed contracts. We have got some amazing talent coming in. I'm hoping to introduce some of them later on in this show. Going to have to see how it goes. I'm waiting for them to arrive, but don't worry, the contracts have been signed and I've got more to come. You're going to be over the moon with some of the talent that I've signed. So that's kind of that segment there. Just obviously Rick has signed some of his WCW pals. Vince McMahon has no idea that his company is about to be taken over. Rating of 76. In the ring, we kicked off with Al Snow and Eddie Guerrero. Just wanted to give Guerrero a match, really. We had this as the opening match. It's a sort of 11-minute match, or nearly 11 minutes. A poor, wild brawl, but Guerrero got the win over Al Snow in 10 minutes 42 by pinfall. So the wrestling got a 53, the crowd a 46, overall 61. Again, I'm not too disappointed with 61. I guess, seeing as we're a huge company, we really need to be looking at 70 minimum, but it's a new save. We might have to drop back in order to sort of, build from there. But, I'm confident this is going to be a very entertaining save, this one. The Brothers of Destruction then cut a promo on the two-man power trip. The tag team champions, they are still the champions after what happened at Insurrection. But after that promo, or during that promo, The Undertaker makes a challenge to Steve Austin for the world title at Judgment Day. Overall rating 76. The storyline has lost heat. Yeah, a storyline getting 76 and losing heat is something else, to be quite honest. Kane struggled going off script, which was unfortunate, but The Undertaker enjoyed it. Edge and Christian take on Too Cool. Just wanted to get a tag team match here on the card. It's Edge and Christian getting the win, as you'd probably expect, in 7 minutes 52. Edge forced Scotty 2 Hotty to submit. The match was designed to revolve around a lot of high spots. Yeah, so this was our high spots match. 52 rating for the wrestling, 47 for the crowd, 62 overall. Again, I wouldn't be over disappointed in normal circumstances. I think the fact that we're huge, yeah, I mean, we need to be looking at getting better. You're not going to get that out of any match with Too Cool, though. The video package featuring the Big Show gets a rating of 75. Just had a few minutes to spare, really, and wanted to get the Big Show on there. So it was a promo, I guess, a kind of music video package showing his. Well, I'll put it down as intimidation. Probably in the old world, we would have used, Menace as the skill that was to be displayed here, presented. Yeah. Kurt Angle takes on Raven. Wow, this is more like it. 85. In a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Kurt Angle defeated Raven in 15 minutes 40 by submission after blatantly cheating. So 78 for the wrestling, 66 for the crowd. Can you imagine if Raven was over? So yeah, 85 overall though. Yeah, I'm very pleased with that one. They had good chemistry, which obviously helped. Deserved better commentary. Okay, that's one thing. Kurt Angle with a 93. That is, you got to note that one down. He's got to get. Oh, you don't do post show stuff after TV, do you? Oh well. But no, great match. Really pleased with that one. Kurt Angle getting the win there. Then after the match, he continues to beat down on Raven. But then Chris Benoit comes out to make the save. It's a rating of 83. I wasn't going to mention anything. I was going to keep it quiet. But you know what? I will. I don't usually use Chris Benoit. I have my reasons. I use him very, very sparingly and usually as a jobber. But I think I've just come to the conclusion now that meh. What happened. This is a game. We're going back to 2001. And I'm just going to kind of bite the bullet on my feelings and get on with it. So yeah, Chris Benoit comes out to make the save here. The storyline did advance, but yeah, 83, another one to be pleased with. Albert takes on Rikishi. I didn't expect much from this match. Albert is someone I would like to push. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, but what I did see and what I did see of Albert, I really liked. I thought he was quite cool. And I know he had a couple of different names, didn't he? A-Train and there was a couple of others. I can't remember them, but I really liked what I saw. So yeah, I want to push him. But this particular match had decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Albert got the win in 12 minutes 30 by pinfall, and it was our storytelling match. 47 wrestling rating, 54 crowd, and the segment got 56 overall. So yeah, not brilliant, but really just a kind of mid-card match, just to kind of help Albert get over there. Chris Jericho storms into William Regal's office and he demands a match against William Regal, but William Regal kind of like starts acting as if he's not feeling very well, and Jericho's asking, "What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with you." And William Regal goes, "Yes, I've got the English garden flu. Whatever that is, doesn't exist. I've never heard of it. I've just made it up." Obviously, at the moment we're still in the UK. This, incidentally, this is held in Sheffield Arena, so we've just had Insurrection. This will be the last kind of UK event before we head back to the States. So yeah, William Regal, I got the English garden flu. Just made something up on the spot, so he can't wrestle tonight. But he will put Chris Jericho in a match against Haku. No real reason why it's Haku. I mean, Haku's known to be a tough guy, and yeah, William Regal probably just wants to rough Jericho up a little bit. 74 overall for this one, lots of green, and the storyline gained heat, which is always good to see. So in the match, another good one, 82 overall. Chris Jericho got the win, of course he did, in 9 minutes 49 by submission. I mean, it's the Walls of Jericho, but maybe I need to put it in there somewhere as what his finishing move is. They had great chemistry, which obviously helped. We did have, William Regal was at ringside for this one, hasn't put it there. I know sometimes there's good reason for it, but yeah, William Regal should be at ringside. So yeah, William Regal was at ringside. I wonder if it doesn't say it, does that mean William Regal forgot to go to ringside? I don't know. Going into business for himself, maybe. Wrestling rating is 71, 59 crowd. I mean, if Haku was over a bit more, that would have been higher. But overall, 82, yeah, I am pleased with that one. As I say, the storyline gained heat, and it definitely helped that they had great chemistry and an 89 rating from Chris Jericho. Backstage, we then have the two-man power trip. They're going into their triple threat tag team title defense against the APA and the Hollies. So they're a bit worried. They're not particularly worried about their opponents, but they're saying that we don't have to get pinned. You could easily just get one of them idiots, pin another one of those idiots, and we've lost the title. We've lost the belts, and it might not even be us that get pinned. And Stephanie's kind of like, look, don't worry, I'm sure everything will be fine. But Steve Austin's, a little bit angry. Why would Vince even, commission this match? Why would he even put us in this situation? And Stephanie says, well, I'm not sure Vince is quite thinking straight at the moment. He's acting a bit odd. I'm not sure he's. I think he thinks Ric Flair might be up to something. And Steve Austin's just a bit kind of like, why the hell did he employ him then? And said, well, like I said, I don't think he's thinking straight. But I think you guys are going to be okay. You guys are going to be fine. Just go out there, do your stuff. You'll come back out with the belts. 86 overall. Pleased with that. The match got a 69. Yeah, that's pretty poor, isn't it? I don't know. I can't say I was expecting a high score. This is just here to serve a purpose. We wanted to get those belts away from the two-man power trip, and maybe I could have done it differently. Maybe I could have done it better. Maybe I could have had better tag teams, but I want them tied up in some other things. So at the moment, we went with this. So decent match. APA Protection defeated the two-man power trip and the Hollies in 13 minutes 16. The order of elimination was the Hollies first and then the two-man power trip. I don't remember this one actually being an elimination match, but oh well. And I certainly didn't want the... yeah, it would have been the Hollies that took the pin. So hasn't quite worked out the way I wanted it to, but as I say, it served the purpose. We had Ric Flair come out and distract Triple H. I also think I had him distract Stone Cold. But maybe I forgot to put that one in. Okay, whatever. So, alright, but anyway, Ric Flair was there. Not necessarily coming out to literally just distract Triple H, but he was there at ringside. Triple H obviously saw what happened, and maybe that's how it all kind of transpired for the last fall. 59 wrestling rating, 60 crowd, and 69 overall. Bit of an angle to finish us off. 78 rating, not too terrible. The Power Trip are angry at Flair. Flair grabs a microphone and he says, before you guys decide to do anything, you might want to know that I got a bit of backup tonight. My new recruits. And he calls out Buff Bagwell. He calls out Diamond Dallas Page. And he calls out Lance Storm. And then he calls out Tori Wilson. So he kind of says, there's more. There is more contracts that have been signed. This is just the beginning. You ain't seen nothing yet. And then he kind of says, kind of like waves his arm out to the entire sort of audience and says, the World Wrestling Federation needs to be prepared for an invasion. This is WCW. And that's kind of how it all sort of ends. Everyone's in shock. Steve Austin, Triple H, don't know where to look, don't know where to go. But yeah, so this was just a kind of, I could have put the entire stable in this angle, but I'm going to tease it out a little bit more, and you know, there'll be a bit more drip feed in before we've got the whole kind of stable sitting there. You have seen the stable, of course. You know who's in it. 78 overall. Then what do we get for the show? 77. I'm actually pleased with that. Bearing in mind, Insurrection got, what was it, 69 or something, and we lost popularity. This increased our population in one region. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just a case of, yeah, it probably increased our standing in northern England, to be honest, or northern British Isles. Yeah, 77 isn't bad. I can't complain at that. We didn't lose any popularity. Address the locker room, injury review, financial report. We've made 150,000 in profit. You might see my finances have now gone down to 1.2 million. Backstage was absolutely awful. So I gave everyone a massive bonus, like the entire roster. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a mistake as to how much I gave them. I don't know. Everyone seems a bit happier. The back room's a little bit better now. I don't want this save to fail on something as stupid as the backstage. I mean, I know I need to manage it a little bit, and I know I can't just cheat like that. I certainly can't do that again anyway. That's cost us, what, 8 and a bit million to do that? That ain't happening again. Yeah, just sort of letting you know, we're not going to struggle with money, I don't think. Popularity recap then, yeah, Central Europe made the change. Okay, I mean, everywhere else, as you can see, I mean, the UK is already high 80s. The US is mid 80s. Canada's, yeah, so, okay, one region, but, you know, we didn't lose popularity, and that's just got to be our bare minimum. Stacy Keibler. It was Stacy Keibler that I put on Rhino. We are trying to sign Rob Van Dam, as you can see from this. New Japan are really, really pushing it. We're if we get Rob Van Dam, he's going to cost us a lot of money, and I'm not 100% sure I'm comfortable with paying what we might have to pay. He's currently, well, he's look 92,700 per month. That's what he should cost us. That's roughly what he should cost us. We've offered 150,000. What have New Japan come back with? Nowhere have offered a silly little contract. Oh, okay, New Japan have now offered 126, but it's not being seriously considered. So I think TCW as well. I think we don't have to worry, and I'm not up in that anymore. Hopefully we'll get RVD. 150,000 a month though is more than I wanted to pay, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. It's Rob Van Dam. Brooklyn Brawler Edge is a star in the making. Kurt Angle says that Takamichi Nugu is pretty good in the ring. You should push him. Maybe to some extent, but I don't think he's ever going to main event WrestleMania. Kane says Christian is going to be a star. Well, Edge and Christian have definitely got plans to, they're going to be our top tag team at some point. Them and the Hardys and probably the Dudleys will always be in the mix. So, yep. Drug testing fees, Raw viewing figures. Okay, I don't know if that's good or bad, really. Time to Heal, Hardcore Holly, Crash Holly, and Christian. That's a shame. He needs to up his stamina a little bit. Decisions. Incident involving Mick Lockwood, who is obviously Crash Holly there, identified as a hard drug user. At the moment, I don't want to be losing people. I mean, I wouldn't fire him anyway. I'm thinking about rehab, but it just means taking out a tag team, doesn't it? I mean, it won't be so bad when the WTW guys are here because we'll have a couple of tag teams from that. But I think for the moment, do you know what? I'm going to give him a stern warning. Negative impact. Okay, well, Steve Richards is very unhappy. But, okay, well, we're also trying to sign Ricky Steamboat, but that is just as a road agent. Okay, I'm going to call it a day there. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give a like and subscribe. Please give me any advice. Yeah, I'll end it there then before I ramble on too much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.